Helena,
Hello, Mr. Vai. What a
hello,
pleasure
nice to
to
see you.
talk to you. Can I call you Steve?
Please.
Yeah, what a pleasure
How
in
you-
order for me. Actually,
I-
I'm back at home. It's 8:30 in the evening in Bulgaria. How are you?
Doing great. I'm doing fantastic. It's a beautiful sunny day in Southern California.
Good for you. I'm amazed from your new album, Inviolate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see you in person here in Sofia, Bulgaria. And
Thank you.
without a doubt, the most intriguing part of it probably is Hydra.
Mm.
Would you please tell us about this creature?
Sure. Well, it started from the first time I saw Jimmy Page with a double neck when I was 12. I really loved that double neck idea, multi necks. And through my career, I had various multi neck instruments. I had double necks, triple necks. I had guitars with necks coming out like this. So the Hydra was really a natural evolution of my love for multi neck guitars. But when the idea for it came, it all came like in one download, and it was just like an instant recognition of an entire uh, thing. And it happens like that. And if I was to unpack it would sound something like this. You're going to create an instrument that will carry an entire piece of music. And you're going to write a beautiful piece of music with it because that has to be number one. It's got to be a good melody, a good song, the best I can do at least. And then you're going to play it in a way that's elegant, seamless, uh, uh, looking effortless, but seemingly impossible. So that was all came out, but and I saw myself doing it, and I didn't know what it was going to be, but I knew what I wanted. So I had a visual, and that's how you manifest things. You you create a visual. You don't ask how. You just create in your mind. So I saw myself doing it, and that's enough. That means that's going to happen. So there's a different feeling you get when you're inspired creatively for you, meaning those ideas that come to you that just feel right for you, and it comes with a feeling of enthusiasm. So when I thought of that, oh, and then it comes also with the feeling of knowing. I know I can do that. I know I can. I don't believe I can. I know I can. And everybody does this. And that's the good stuff. That's when that comes, that's the good stuff for you. What a lot of people do is they create fantasies of impossible things that probably aren't right for them actually. But the ego tells them, no, you need to be rich and famous and all this stuff. I didn't do the Hydra to be more famous. It was a creative compulsion. So uh, I started an email. This was 7 years ago because I knew if I was going to create an instrument that was going to carry a song, it had to have a bass neck. And I thought, well, I want half of it fretless because I can. I wanted a 7 string and tune it down to drop A, so it's really heavy. I want the 12 string. I want the harp strings. I want a synthesizer, guitar synthesizer, piezos, sustainers, sample and hold, all these things that I know because of my experience through the years that we can work into this instrument. But I didn't know what it was going to look like. So I just put the email aside. And 2 years later, I was watching a Mad Max movie with Mel Gibson. And there was this one scene where they're driving through the desert. They were always driving through the desert, but the guy's playing a guitar, and it's this wild looking guitar. It's got flames coming out of it. And as soon as I saw that, I said, okay, that's steampunk. And I want this guitar to look steampunkish. So I went and I found some examples of like steampunk, and I put them in the original email. It was 2 years later. And then I just sent it to Ibanez, and they just started. And it started with me getting illustrations and renderings, and then changing it and sending it back and sending it back and back and forth. And then finally, at one point, they came to the house with a cardboard cutout of the Hydra. And that was funny, because, but it was necessary, because then you can move things around, And then finally they made a prototype. I still have it. I call it the hyena, because it's ugly as sin, and it's not finished. But that's an important step, because then you really see how you can play it, because I knew I had to play this thing. So the harp strings were not in a great spot, so we moved them, so it's a process. And that process took about 5 years. And then finally the guitar showed up in my house, and I just opened the case and looked at it, and I was stunned. I mean, it looked wild. There was something really beautiful, but something totally crazy about it. But then I was scared to death, because I knew I had to write a piece of music with it, So I had it on a stand in the studio for about 1.5 years before I touched it. And every time I walked past it, which was like, I don't know, 100 times a day or something crazy, well, not 100, but a lot. I would just look at it and go, oh, geez, what am I going to do with that thing? But then the little voice said, just do it. Just do it. Just go ahead and do it. So I took about 6 weeks, and probably for about, I don't know, between 10 and 15 hours of undisturbed days, I sat behind the Hydra, and I had to figure out how to create the song and navigate it. So I knew what the original vision was, because I had it. I knew that I needed to keep the bass going, all of these things that a producer thinks about. And I started really slow. It was one of those things where when I watch the video, I feel the way some people feel. I'm like, how did that happen? That looks wild and amazing and not of this earth, and I'm looking, I'm like, how did you do that? And then I said, oh, I remember. I started really slow. Bum, 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 bum. Anybody can do that. Bum, bum. Well, any guitar player. Bum, bum, fring, bum, 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 fring. And then bum, bum, gang, gang. So you slowly build it. And it's like a Rubik's Cube. And every time I would come across something that really worked, there's no feeling like that. The feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of manifesting something, the feeling of getting your hands in it, working it, figuring it out, and then poof, there it is. That's joyful. So it was a fun process.
Yeah, amazing story. She's coming with you, right, on your European leg of your tour. We're gonna see Hydra here in Sofia, Bulgaria, right?
Sure are.
Yeah, I would like to ask you, do you believe that tough times, as we experience this pandemic thing recently, urge us, push us to find very quickly new solutions and inject us with new creativity? Is this relevant to your new album?
Well, absolutely. I know this is a hard thing to accept, but challenge is necessary in our life. It's the engine of creation, because you're forced into figuring things out. And sometimes you're forced into having to be creative in figuring things out. And for me, the challenge of the pandemic bore a lot of fruit. I was fortunate. I know that the pandemic created some devastating challenges for many people. I wasn't one of those people. I live a relatively simple life. I don't go out much anyway, and I love sitting in my little room here and just making music and doing things. So I thrived creatively. And I think many musicians did, because you wake up one day and you're told you can't go on tour, you can't go to the studio, you can't go out to see bands, you can't do any of that. So musicians are very resilient because they're creatives, and creative people have to create. And we learned so much in the music community at that period. I know for me, I started reaching out a lot more to musicians to work with via digital exchange. And that was a great advancement for musicians. It pushed us into having to work that way. And it's a different way to work, but it's also very creative. It has its elements. So challenges are the engine of creation, and they're necessary. What's unnecessary? What's unnecessary is the fear involved in challenges. This is the big dilemma for humans, because once there's a challenge in their life, they see it in a detrimental way. And then there's fear. How am I going to, or I'm going to get sick, or, these kinds of things. But in reality, we're always faced with challenges. And when we approach them in a more conscious way, when there's not this need, this attachment, this feeling that your safety is dependent on it, then you have an opportunity to be creative with your challenges. You find necessary solutions, effective solutions, as opposed to panic-driven solutions. So I think everybody experienced a little bit of this and that, but I really thrived because it allowed me time to sit with no distractions and work on things that needed a lot of time and no distractions. And that became Inviolate, because that record is the hardest record I ever made regarding playing the guitar. I mean, it's got Knapsack, which is all
what kind of title is this? What does it mean, knapsack?
Let me see. Hang on one moment.
Yeah.
This is a knapsack. So I had shoulder surgery at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And my doctor was Dr. Knapp. That was his name. That is his name.
See.
Dr. Knapp.
Yeah.
He developed this, which is sort of like a sorry. What's going on here? So it's like a sling.
Mm-hmm. Helping your hand to be like this, right?
Yeah, to keep your shoulder, kind of like. So he developed this for people who have had this particular type of surgery. So he called it the knapsack.
Okay.
So this is a knapsack. And I had to wear it. So I could only play with one hand. So I named the song Knapsack.
Yeah. How did you play with one hand? Is it that possible at all?
Yeah, sure. Here. Well, it's, for many guitar players have a style called legato. So legato is just like it doesn't require to. So you hammer, and you can do that all over, you know. So that's how you do it. But it's a trick unless you write a nice song. You know, the song has to be good.
Yeah. And you're a person who has a very deep interest in the spiritual part of life. Have you found an explanation how music is born? What's the magic of music?
Well, I wouldn't assume to be an authority on that, but it must resonate from within us. It's not in the outside world until we put it there. So I think that innate in us is song, because song is uplifting. Song is expressive. Song, melody, song you share. You know, it's a way of communicating, and humans communicate many different ways, you know, but there comes a point in some people where it naturally arises, just the desire to or, you know, write the music. So it's a gift. I feel, at least for me, it's a gift, and it's a way to be creative and express your creative instincts, and that's vital. And spiritually, I might suggest music is vibrational. That's what it is. It's various vibrations that our ears are able to pick up. Everything is vibration. Nothing you see is not vibrating. So music resonates in our soul. And I think as humans, it just has to come out. So that it's, in a way, it can be a spiritual offering of joy and healing and appreciation. And it can also be very destructive. And I'm not saying that like heavy metal music is destructive, because there's a lot of heavy metal music that is healing for me. You know, it's how it's how it makes you feel. You know, if you're feeling, if it makes you feel good and empowered, then it's beneficial. But if it makes you feel like you hate yourself more, because some music will do that, it's very dark. Chances are you'd be better off listening to something that makes you feel uplifted.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of heavy metal that can do that.
Sure. Let us talk for a moment about live music, because as a fan of yours, I may say that watching you playing your music is not only a musical experience, but something like a magician's seance. And I'm interested, what do you experience in front of your audience? What do you feel playing Hydra in front of people that adore you, adore your music?
Well, it's very nice for me to know that I can bring them something like that. But when I'm playing the Hydra, I'm not thinking of them.
I can guess.
I'm just like, you have to be present. You know, you can't think of anything. But live music is it's powerful in many ways. From a performer's perspective, being on a stage and feeling the energy of the audience and feeling the energy of the music flowing through you, and the electrifying energy, you know, I love just standing there, and I mentally embrace the moment. So if you're embracing the moment, you're not thinking. You're not thinking what's going to happen after the show, what's going to happen tomorrow. Do they like me? You know, oh, they don't like me tonight. Oh, this audience is so and so. Oh, it sure is cold in here. You know, but this is mental noise. Okay. And it can go deeper for some people. The noise can say things like, you're not good enough for this. You're being criticized. You're not fitting in, you know. I know you want to move like this, but that's not cool. Okay. This is all bullshit, right? And people suffer from it. They're not even your real thoughts. Those are not your thoughts. They're conditioned thoughts that you inherited through society. And they lead you to believe things that are just not true. So when you eliminate that and you're present, you're in a state of recognition. You're not in a state of thinking. Okay, there's a big difference between being on stage and thinking, and being on stage or in any creative situation and being present, being in a state of recognition. So what are you recognizing? You're recognizing the moment, the sound of the band, the feel the connection you have with the band, the beat. The beat is it. You embrace the beat and it moves you. And then for me as a guitar player, I love the guitar because it's malleable. It's so expressive. You touch those notes any different way, and it's saying something different. And it goes through you. And I love when my body is moving with the guitar, you know, when it's flowing beautifully with the melodies. I can't do anything but not think. If I'm thinking, I lose it completely, you know? So when you are in this state of presence and you're performing, you're connected to your true creative impulses. And they're unique. Your creative impulses are unique. You got to find them, because they're covered up a lot by the noise that's saying, no, your creative instincts are not good enough. This is insanity. I'm here to tell you they are. So, but you have to find them, and you have to throw yourself into them with joy and passion or intensity, whatever that is for you. So that's a beautiful feeling. And especially when it comes back with the audience, you know, so that's a beautiful moment to be a performer and to feel comfortable in your skin. It took me a while, because the way I move, the way my face contorts, the quirky things I play, they're not conventional. So when you do something that's not conventional, you're weird, you know? And I had to get over that, because the noise in my mind was, okay, you're moving a certain way. That's weird. That's not normal. You shouldn't do that, you know? So I had to suffer until finally I surrendered. And what are you surrendering to? You're surrendering to you being your true self. That's a battle well won. You know, when you allow yourself to be you, like to be you, that side of you, your authentic self, the thing that likes what you like, that part of you that has clarity, that part of you that sees challenges as opportunities, that part of you that allows others you don't feel like you need to change anybody to be happy. You're already there. And it's in everybody. It's just obscured. And when you find it, all your creative endeavors are empowered. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go outside the studio or the concert room and talk about your passions along with music, because my podcast is entitled Personalities and Passions. And recently I listened to your project Vai Gash, and I like it very much, very, very much. Would you please share with me about your passion concerning how to say your love towards Harley Davidson, or experience like bikers, something outside music, but still connected, obviously, with your greatest passion?
Well, you know, we all have different interests, and my interests were music, guitar, studio gear, and Harleys. And that's because when I was a kid, from the ages of like 12 to whatever, you know, 16, 17, I just really loved the biker culture. I used to build mini bikes and motorbikes and all these things, and just, you know, and my brother had Harley. He was older, and he hung out with all these really tough guys, you know. These guys, they threw great parties. They were really tough, and they were also big-hearted. You know, there's a warmth in there. And it wasn't until I moved out to California and I'd been working and making a little money, you know, making some money, that I could afford a Harley. And I remember in the mid 80s, I was able to do that. And I went out and I bought 7 Harleys over a year. And the biker culture in Southern California in the late 80s, early 90s was fantastic. And there was a whole group of people we used to go riding with. And one of them was my good friend, Johnny Gash Sombrato. And Johnny was from Queens, New York. He was an East Coast, Italian, hardcore biker type guy. But he was also just this unbelievable character. He was so charismatic and funny and intense and unpredictable and lovable and insane. And he got the nickname Gash because when he was 21, he was riding his motorcycle along these power lines and he got lost. So there's this wonderful, it's a very delicious feeling of empowerment when you're on a motorcycle and you're with your friends and you're in the wind and the environment. It's carefree, it's free, it's uplifting, you know. If it's something that resonates with you, you know. Some people like to bungee jump, you know, some people don't. So if it's the kind of thing that works for you, it's great. So at one point I just stopped everything I was doing and decided I wanted to write a bunch of songs that sounded exactly like what I was feeling like when I was riding the motorcycle. That feeling of upliftment, freedom, empowerment. And I went into the studio, and in like a week's time, I just laid the whole record out. And I even tried singing it. And that was a disaster, you know, because I don't have a rock and roll voice. You know, I like my voice. I have a very nice voice for certain things, but it's very limited. And I didn't know that Gash could sing because he was not a professional singer. He wasn't in a band. He didn't have a history of singing rock and roll. He used to sing like Frank Sinatra, beautiful crooner kind of a voice. But I would hear in his voice something, you know, when he would scream or yell or throw out a Led Zeppelin line. And I was like, what is that? I said, there's a rock and roll voice in there. And I pulled him into the studio, and I could not believe what came out of his mouth, Elena. It was powerful and confident, and there was so much swagger and funny. I mean, it's playful, you know, in a way, but it's intense. And I'm thinking, how is he doing this? And I'm saying, that's him. That's his personality. It's in his voice. You can hear it, you know. But he also had great pitch, great timing, great instincts. He was a natural. And he laid this stuff down, and I thought, I can't wait to get into it with him one of these days, because there's so much potential, and he was just like this raw talent, you know. So we had those 8 songs. I only had 8. And one of them I had written with Nikki Sixx, New Generation. And we listened to them when we were riding our motorcycles, and it was fantastic. But I was right in the middle of another project that I had to get back to. So I started working back on that and thought at some point in the future, I got to tweak this stuff, put a couple of more songs and do something. But tragically, Gash was killed in a motorcycle accident. And I couldn't, you know, I was so disheartened. I just took the entire project and threw it on the shelf. For 32 years, it sat there. And I started listening to it about 20 years ago. And it brought me right back. You know, I love that. And I love Johnny so much. And the record kind of felt like precious to me, because it was unlike anything I had done. It was very free. You know, all those bands that I played with and that I've recorded and toured, they were fantastic. You know, there's committees involved in everything. You know, you're dealing with record companies and A&R guys and band members, and you're co-creating. But with the Gash record, there was a committee of one, me. And I make my solo music that way. I like that. And I just started thinking, well, let me fix this and let me fix that, and let me try to figure out a way to add another song, maybe an instrumental, because this is all I had with Johnny. And that went on for years, you know. And then finally last year I said, forget it, just release it. So don't touch it. Don't change anything. Just get it out. So I went and I got the tapes, and they were there on the shelf, 32 years. And I had to bake them. There's a process that happens with analog tapes. If they sit too long, the emulsion that holds the magnetic particles starts to separate. So you can't really, if you play the tape, it shreds. So there's a process you can do where you bake the tape at 130 degrees in a convection oven for, I think, 5 or 6 hours, where the emulsion readheres. So then you can play the tape. And I just baked it, and then I sent it to Mike Frazier, who mixed it. And that was it. And I thought that, you know, well, maybe some of my fans will get a kick out of this, you know, a few of them. But I'm so surprised, because the response I'm getting from this record is it's amazing. It's probably the best response I've gotten from any record, because it's very simple. It's very straight ahead. I wanted that. I didn't want long guitar solos. I didn't want to get in the way of anything. I wanted a straight ahead 70s, 80s feeling, sounding rock record that made you feel good when you listened to it. That's what I wanted.
That's the feeling. I may assure you. Absolutely. I love it. Do you have any other unreleased project like this that has been sitting on the shelf for years?
I guess time will tell.
Okay, but still, anything?
I've got so much stuff, because
Yeah, I'm sure.
I went through a whole period for decades where I just kept writing and recording, and sometimes I start things and I get into them and I don't finish them because I go to something else, and there's still good stuff there. So it's not uncommon for me to be working on something and then stop and go and just do something else, and then go back. And that's like the Gash record. And yes, I do have a lot of various projects, some of them more accessible than others.
Okay. Hypothetically, if you have the opportunity to play with a band or musician that you haven't collaborated yet, who'd you choose?
I've collaborated with all the ones I always wanted to. There's a couple of people just from like a nostalgically creative perspective, like Robert Plant. I'd love to write a song with him someday, but yeah, I don't know. I'd like to do something with Tom Waits someday, but we're all such different, you know, I'm so different than those guys. I don't know if they could see any common ground, but those are some of the people that I really like. I've collaborated with a lot of great artists already that were very fulfilling, and some of the really rewarding ones may not seem like the ones I might point out. Like I wrote a song with Amy Mann, No More Amsterdam, and I really enjoyed that collaboration. Some things I've done with Devin Townsend, you know, I love doing. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm open for anybody that's got a creative bend.
What about a Bulgarian musician? Do you have any connections towards the Bulgarian musical tradition? Do you know something about Bulgarian music?
Yeah, because when I was working on my Alive in an Ultra World record, I had to study. I was studying all this cultural music from around the world, and Bulgaria was one of them because I wrote a song for Bulgaria called Incantation on that record. And it's fascinating when you study the culture, the musical culture of a particular territory, because, you know, as a musician, you can hear the kinds of scales they use, the time signatures, and all these kinds of things, and then incorporate it into a rock band. And that's what I did. And a couple of one of the artists that I watched, I listened to, that was quite amazing, was Ivo Popasov and his Bulgarian wedding band. I listened to so much stuff, but that was the one that I was like, whoa, that's wild. And but yeah, that cultural music runs deep. And when one little suggestion to musicians, when you're looking for inspiration and you're only listening to a particular style, a particular band or group of bands, it could be limiting.